In today's video we will be taking a look at one of the most secretive and intriguing items from the Book of the Dead, the Senet of Judgment. This mysterious artifact was designed to ensure a favorable judgment in the afterlife. But what exactly did it do? And how was it used by those who came before us? Join me as we journey through ancient Egypt and uncover the secrets of this ancient board game. Along the way, we learn about the dangers that awaited the dead on their journey to the afterlife, and how the Senet of Judgment helped them to avoid certain obstacles. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into this fascinating topic together. The Senet of Judgment, also known as the Game of the 42 Gods, or the Sacred Game, is one of the most famous artifacts from the era of ancient Egypt. This game had significant religious meaning, because its purpose was to assist the deceased person's soul in passing safely through the underworld and reaching the field of reeds. In other words, the Senet of Judgment was an important tool used in the funerary rituals of ancient Egypt, particularly during the New Kingdom period between 1543 and 1292 BC. The game was played on a board that measured approximately 26 inches by 16 inches, which was made of wood or stone. It had 30 squares arranged in 3 rows of 10, similar to the modern game of checkers. However, unlike checkers, the Senet board was not used for entertainment purposes, but rather for religious ceremonies. The rules of the game were complex, and there is no evidence that it was played for amusement. Instead, it was believed that the game could influence the outcome of the deceased person's journey through the underworld. For example, if the player won the game, it meant that they would pass the judgment of Osiris and Anubis without any problems and receive a blissful afterlife. But if they lost, they would face many challenges along their journey, including being thrown into a lake of fire, devoured by a crocodile goddess, or forced to wander the earth for 42 days. That's because the game contained 42 squares, each representing one of the 42 gods that the deceased person had to answer to. These gods represented various aspects of Egyptian mythology and belief, such as wisdom, magic, fertility, and the afterlife. Therefore, playing the game correctly and winning was crucial for ensuring a peaceful journey into the next world. But the Senet of Judgment was not just a game. It was a tool for the living to communicate with the dead. For instance, the pieces used in the game were often carved in the shape of human figures, and were believed to represent the deceased person's soul. As the game was played, the pieces moved around the board following a specific path that symbolized the journey through the underworld. Each move represented a step closer to the field of reeds, the final destination of the soul's journey. The path that the pieces took on the board was carefully planned and designed to mimic the trials and tribulations that the deceased person would encounter on their way to the afterlife. The pieces had to navigate various obstacles, such as dangerous animals and treacherous terrain, all while avoiding the watchful eyes of the gods, who were testing their worthiness to enter the field of reeds. It is believed that the Senet of Judgment was first developed during the Old Kingdom period, but it gained popularity during the New Kingdom when the Book of the Dead was created. The Book of the Dead was a collection of funerary texts, spells, and hymns that were intended to help the deceased person's soul navigate the underworld and reach the field of reeds. The Senet of Judgment was included in the Book of the Dead because it was an important part of the funerary rituals. The game was played by priests and family members of the deceased person, using pieces that represented the soul. The priest would act as the deceased person's representative and guide their soul through the game, helping them to avoid the obstacles and trials that were meant to test their worthiness to enter the afterlife. The family members could also play the game to honor and remember their loved ones, and to ensure that they had a smooth transition into the next world. The use of the Senet of Judgment in the funeral rites shows the importance of the afterlife in ancient Egyptian culture. The Egyptians believed that after death, the soul went through a series of trials and tests that determined its fate in the afterlife. The Senet of Judgment was a way to help the soul pass these tests and reach the field of reeds where the righteous souls went. However, not everyone could afford to have their own set of Senet of Judgment pieces, so some people used alternative methods to ensure a safe journey for their loved ones. Some people would simply draw pictures of the pieces on the walls or sarcophagi of tombs, while others would bury small figurines or amulets representing the pieces. Regardless of the method used, the goal was the same: to help the soul navigate the underworld and reach the field of reeds. But why was it so important for the Egyptians to reach the field of reeds? Well, it was believed to be a place of peace and happiness, where the soul could rest after the trials and tribulations of the afterlife. The field of reeds was depicted as a beautiful meadow full of lush vegetation and crystal clear water where the souls of the righteous could spend eternity. It was seen as a reward for a life well lived and a chance to escape the harsh realities of the physical world. For the Egyptians, death was not the end, but a transition to a different state of being. They believed that the soul continued to exist after the body died, and that it was important to help the soul on its journey to the afterlife. The Senet of Judgment was one of the ways that they ensured a smooth and safe passage for their loved ones. It is important to note that the Senet of Judgment was not the only game played by the ancient Egyptians. They also enjoyed a variety of other games, such as Senet, a game similar to checkers, and Mayon, a snake game. However, these games were played for entertainment purposes rather than religious reasons. The Senet of Judgment was a unique game that was specifically designed to help the deceased person's soul pass through the underworld and reach the field of reeds. By understanding the rules and playing the game correctly, the Egyptians believed that they could ensure a peaceful and safe journey for their loved ones into the afterlife. Overall, the artifact known as the Senet of Judgment is an enigmatic and powerful symbol of ancient Egyptian beliefs and practices. Its discovery has shed light on the importance of the afterlife in their culture, and the lengths to which they went to ensure a smooth transition for their loved ones. As we continue to explore the mysteries of ancient Egypt, artifacts like the Senet of Judgment serve as a reminder of the rich and complex tapestry of their traditions and beliefs. While much of their culture remains shrouded in mystery, the legacy of the Senet of Judgment lives on as a testament to the enduring power of faith and the human desire for a better afterlife. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave us a thumbs up to show your support. We always appreciate when you take the time to do this. Also, if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to our channel. We post new videos every week, so there's always fresh content for you to enjoy. And if you want to take your learning even further, where you can find additional resources and information on a wide range of topics, thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you in our next video. And now for the end card. Here are some other videos you might like. Just click on one of the images to start watching. See you next time.